Hello Google, hello YouTube, and hello anybody else who doesn't associate with those. Hi. I am keeping my word to speak about a certain subject today. And from whatever I decide to title this, you'll get the idea, but it's all about if you're going to post, basically, I want to approach this at a higher level. That although it's about a specific post yesterday that went on and on and on and did not need to, but at a higher level is where I really like to approach it, is on the thinking level, of course, is if you're going to post, like I do, controversial subjects, difficult subjects, and you don't want anyone to disagree with you. I've said this before in my rants. Say so in the comments and post privately to your circles. To the circles that you best think fit your following that would agree with you. Because I will never, ever, let's back up. Whoa, back that bus up. I never say never. I will seldom, very seldom, post a negative or a controversial comment on a private post of a friend. Unless, there's always exceptions to rules, but if you post a controversial subject publicly, you're going to, at least if I'm in your circle and I disagree with your subject, I'm going to comment. Now, depending on if I know you, of course, will depend a little bit on how I frame it, but I don't put emotion into my writing. I've said that many times. I don't put emotion into my writing. So my comment will always be about the subject. And if you don't want, who invited you? If you don't want comments, you have to say so. So now I get down to the point of it, and we're going to get into specifics as to why I felt this way. What I thought was a friend, and a person with whom I still feel is a good person. I think maybe a little bit too defensive, but we all have our pluses and minuses. I'm too sensitive. I have many other poor qualities. So I don't want, but Philip Setnick sent out a post publicly. I thought this was great. Priorities, folks, priorities. And it is about Israeli cops suspending a drug raid because there was a circumcision going on. Suspending. They let the circumcision continue. When it was over, all the religious ceremonies completed, the bris, and I've studied that stuff. Then they continued with the drug raid. It was a drug raid. They arrested people. Now, because of marijuana, I checked, because of marijuana, this family, although their lucky son now has less skin, they have less money. People in jail. courts, everything else, because of a medical plant. I never got to make that statement. All I said on it was my statement to Philip. Excuse me. Sorry, I hate drug raids, but they could have stopped the dismembering of the child first. I don't want to go too much into the bullshit I got from all his friends. What I want to say is this. One, that comment was meant for Philip. He put out something about drug raids. Something I'm very much against. He's followed me for a lot of years. He knows this. And he knows that I was in his circles and that he put this publicly. Drug raid. Marijuana. And circumcision. Isn't it about time that we start talking about this? So, I started it with sorry. I put no exclamation points. I have talked with Philip many times. And I wanted to wait for him to talk to me. But this is typical. Everything went awry because everybody went to his defense when there was nothing to defend. I wanted to discuss the issue. So what I want to say here is I don't really care about that anymore. He made a post. He probably should learn better and post privately from now on when he has something that is about something like that. If he wants to join the discussion that I wanted him to join was maybe it's time for the Jewish people to start coming out of the Dark Ages and stop cutting up babies. A lot of people said that I would not have been attacked so bad if I didn't use the word dismembering of the child. Dismembering, it's a word, it's a grunt, it's a sound. However, circumcision. Let me tell you something. Yeah, NSFW, huh? I'm circumcised. My dad is. We don't know why. We found out through one video that I've got shared in my stream. Go check it out. So-and-so wrecks everything. Is that it was Kellogg's himself who spent an awful lot of millions of dollars back in 1910 to get us all to think that circumcision is good because it'll stop masturbation because masturbation is evil. That was it. That's why there's a whole bunch of non-Jewish people circumcised. I circumcised my first boy. I didn't even know why. He's a grown-up now. And then when I went to when my current wife and I had a baby, I just naturally asked the doctor to circumcise him. And her dad cried. And it turned into something that I was forced to have to research. Because I couldn't have my new wife and my new father-in-law angry at me for a decision that I couldn't really understand why I was doing it. So I researched it and could not prove any good reason to cut off skin off my baby. Female circumcision used to be religiously bound as well. And to say anything against it, the person was beat up like I was yesterday. So, maybe it's time to start discussing this instead of going after the person who raises the issue. So people, those of you who are listening to this and you feel, go back to that discussion. I only later in the discussion got angry, and I used the word ass once. I kept my calm because I was right here. I only wanted to talk. If you don't want people to talk on your posts, don't post them. Cut off comments, or have a very small circle of people who just say, yes, Phil, yes, Phil, yes, Phil, and cut me out of it, because I'll continue to comment on things that I think are wrong. And putting people in jail for marijuana is wrong, and cutting off parts of a boy's penis is wrong. Enough said.